All right, let's hit the skins, get the latest on the Washington Commanders, our training camp coverage on 106.7 The Fan, presented by Paul Henry's Window Installation. PaulHenry'sWindows.com, your clear home improvement choice.
All right, just a little roster maintenance yesterday. This kind of thing happens this time of year. Of course, they'll have their cut down, a week or so, whenever it is. The Skins waived offensive tackle Alex Akingbulu, and tight end Armani Rogers. That's the name that most people are familiar with. The tight end room is pretty big, and Rogers just kind of on the outside looking in. Basically doing him a favor, I think, to let him go now.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday
somewhere else.
when the depth chart came out that you've got Zach Ertz one.
Mm-hmm.
You drafted Sinnott, and Bates apparently is having a good camp.
I don't know.
Like
and
Bates,
you still
I'm
have got
telling you.
Cole Turner.
I don't know if there's ever been more buzz about a guy who literally has done next to nothing than there has been for Armani Rogers.
Well, he's done nothing.
In his
That's why they let him go.
Commanders/Washington football team career.
I mean, because, he's one of those guys that looks unbelievable in his uniform and in the locker room.
Now, the buzz about the dude who was in the international program, his name is escaping me, who was also a tight end, who was in that room.
Samis Reyes.
Samis Reyes. Like, it's kind of Reyes level. It's pretty close.
Reyes was more of a project, but Rogers was too.
And look, he's 26 years old. I wish him luck. Hope he latches on somewhere and actually is able to produce and is able to get out on the field. But I just think with the glut that we were talking about,
There's just too many.
Ertz coming in, drafting Sinnott,
So
the
they-
holdovers like Bates.
But who has
just
more career catches, Armani Rogers or Cole Turner?
probably
I feel like
Armani-
Cole Turner gets
probably
hyped up a
Armani
lot
Rogers,
too.
but it can't be by a lot.
Cole's had some injuries that have
Like
just killed him.
There's
All right,
no
Armani
way.
Rogers had 5 catches in 2022.
Okay, I was about to say
I'm
there's
about
no way
to
he
click
has more
on
than
Cole
10.
Turner. Cole Turner at 11.
Right.
Just bones Armani Rogers.
I'll tell you
Double
this
his
one.
output.
There was this play will always stick with me. Cole Turner, one of his catches, I think it was either last year, it had to be last year, right? Or the year before. He caught a pass down the seam. I can't remember what bad quarterback it was from. And I
Probably
saw,
Howell.
And I saw it. Now, I don't think it was Howell. I saw it. I was like, like there might be something here. And that's the only highlight I can think of
Right.
for Cole Turner since he's been here. I hope he does well. I hope he progresses. This will be tough to leapfrog. I think Ertz is going to get the majority of the catches.
Well, he's really on the outside looking in right now. But
Sinnott, you spend high draft capital on him.
I think he's hoping to just stay on the roster, be the 4th tight end. And,
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody he gets an opportunity at some
Right.
point. We had him on the show. Seemed like a really nice kid. He's Valdez's new BFF.
I know, that's his guy.
So
Is Valdez, hopefully he's not the kiss of death with tight ends. I mean, his boys Logan Thomas. Now he's in San
Logan was
Francisco.
here for a while.
I know.
Yeah, Logan was here for a while.
Yeah.
So they released or waived Alex Akingbulu, the offensive lineman, but they did sign another one, J.C. Hassenauer. Also, just interesting for Skins fans paying attention, former commander Sadiq Charles out of nowhere retired.
I saw that out of Titans camp.
Yeah, I guess he just said, you know what, I'm done. Dunsky, tired of getting injured every year.
Right.
And I want to move on.
It does have to be frustrating if you keep getting various injuries, working your way back, the rehab, and then you just can't stay on the field and you can't stay healthy.
It's hard.
It has to be
The
frustrating.
grind of football.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, 25, 26, after a few years of professional football and college football, their bodies are definitely banged up. All right, so Joe Gibbs was at camp yesterday, and I tell you, every time you see Joe walking around, he's got his Commander's gear on and everything, it does get you a little fired up.
He was wearing his Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. Even though, the version 2 didn't go great.
Yeah.
He still brought respect
Made
back
the
to the
playoffs
organization.
twice.
They made the playoffs twice. You felt like the program was heading in the right direction. And he's just a legend here, will always be. He talked to the team, and I believe Valdez has some audio.
I think anytime you get a chance to pick that high, I think that was their choice, and I think they feel great about it. From what my understanding is, he's looked great in practice. And so, yeah, if the quarterback is a huge deal, but it really is the entire team. You're not going anywhere in the NFL if you can't play defense, special teams, and it takes everything. And obviously the offense closes the deal. So if there's anything missing, you're not going.
Now, I love Joe Gibbs. I would never, ever attempt to sully his name for what he's done here. But he got it done with 3 different quarterbacks, like mostly nondescript guys.
Mm-hmm.
Times have changed since Joe Gibbs is doing it. Like,
It's hard to do.
you got to have the quarterback first and foremost to get it done.
I
And
think
the
Joe
other pieces-
Theismann was far beyond nondescript.
Okay. I may be slighting
And
Joe
Rip
T.
had an unbelievable
Had a great year.
The year he
But
did, I mean, it was
None of those guys
horrible
were
year.
like MVP types.
no, but they got hot.
They got hot at the right time.
You know what I would say to it is, look, like I think Theismann was borderline Hall of Famer, especially if he hadn't gotten hurt.
Right.
Theismann was legit. But Rippon had at that time was an incredible season, and
Doug Williams
got hot.
super hot.
We got hot.
Love to see.
So it's not like they won with guys that played poor at that position.
Right.
They
By the
played
way,
well.
Joe T is going to join us on Friday.
Very
Excellent.
good.
Friday morning.
Excellent.
So JP Finley asked, that was actually Joe not talking to the team. He was talking to Channel 4 there.
My only thing about the Joe Gibbs thing is he seems to show up every year, right? And everybody gets all
He's
fired
always
up
been supportive.
and think that he has like the magic touch and it's going to help the team.
I don't know if it's going to help the team.
He's just
It's
showing up.
No, it just hits a little
It's
nostalgia.
nice.
It's just the
I'm sure
nostalgia.
you get it in the feels.
Yeah, you see him and you get excited. There's something about it.
It's almost
But
like
what he says about the team, he says good things about the team every
year. Always did.
and they stink.
He always did.
It's like the mascot almost.
Kinda.
It's the
He gives you
figurehead.
he
He's
gives you
the figurehead.
Gives you the warm and fuzzies
It
when you
just
see
makes you,
when you see Joe Gibbs.
Just think back to the best era.
Right.
Just freaking teams
He's
ever had.
83, by the way.
Yeah.
And then you just got to shake your head at just the ineptitude. I mean, they did make the playoffs once during Rivera's run, but that was a losing record.
What a backdoor
Then you got to go
job.
back to 2016, the last time they had a double-digit win total.
Well, I don't even know what that feels like. I don't even know what double-digit wins feels like.
You know how when they would sign a big free agent, they would lug those Super Bowl trophies out?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like what they do with Joe at
Sure.
training camp before the season starts.
Mm-hmm. They dust them off and bring them in.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
For lack of better terms, yeah.
So JP Finley apparently asked about the quarterbacks and if they have a snap count in the preseason.
Looking ahead to the preseason, not just Jaden, but your quarterbacks in general, do you have pitch counts, snap counts in mind? Is it more of a free-flowing thing?
I wouldn't say it's free-flowing, but we're going to try to get, work for all the guys, as we're moving forward into this game. That makes it difficult to do, but all the guys have earned that right to try to do that. So, we're going to try to push that everybody can get some reps and some turns. Not all the reps will be the same for practice for Thursday, so you won't see those being exactly equal from practice into the game. For instance, some may play more in practice and play less in the game. Some may play less in practice and play more in the game, but that's really by design, and especially for some of the youngest players, I really wanted them to have their moment to, show what they can do and prove, whether it's here or elsewhere, that they got the chops to play in this league.
Makes sense. By the way, the last 10-win season was 2012. 2016 was when they had the back-to-back winning seasons. I remember that was notable. Under Jay Gruden, they were 9-7 in 2015, 8-7-1 in 2016.
It counts.
Since
I
then,
know you want to knock it, but it counts.
No, back-to-back. That's why something was standing out to me about 2016. It was that they had back-to-back winning seasons with that 8-7-1. But ever since then, 7-9, 7-9, 3-13, 7-9, 7-10, 8-8-1, and 4-13.
Let me see how spoiled Valdez is with 10-win seasons since 2012 for his Ravens. Okay, 2012 they had one. 2014 they had one. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2022, and 2023.
Majority.
That's just since 2012.
The majority of the years.
That's like 7 or 8 years. I just ticked off.
I had a run like that. It's called the 80s. I had a run like that.
Right.
Enjoy
That
it.
was 40 years ago.
It's not always that way, but enjoy it. It's your run. That's cool. It's okay.
And it crashed right when Joe left.
Yep.
Poor Richie Pettibone.
And then just a little more, Quinn, talking about the preseason and Jaden.
In your last 2 stops with Matt Ryan and Dak, those were veteran guys. And so now with 3 preseason games, I guess. How do you go about building the plan for, hey, this is what we want Jaden to do in the preseason with Cliff and the other guys?
Yeah, I think it depends a little bit on the game, the opponent, what do we want to see. So it won't be the same, that we're looking for in each of the preseason games. But in this game, this is what we'd like to see. In this game was what we'd like to see. It also is about the practices, too, because guys like Jaden will get more, reps in those practices than they likely will in the games. And so they count a lot, too. And that's why I'm a proponent of the practices and doing it one day, off day, then play the game. I really like that format.
So we're going to see less because what he's kind of saying is Jaden's get more of the reps in practice. He's not going to get as many reps in the game.
Right.
I would never say this to his face because he's intimidating. He's a leader of men, but he's slightly above Ron in the personality scale, but he just doesn't give you a lot when you stick the mic in his face.
But he has the backwards ball cap, Cakes.
A lot of standard coach speak.
Yeah, but that's kind of normal. I thought listen, he passed a big test for me. We didn't try to snow us with some sort of fake competition,
right?
And listed Jaden as the starter.
Well, I mean, does he really think that we'd be dumb enough to fall for it? There's a real competition between Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota.
I was on vacation. How did that happy hour go? Was he there? Didn't you do a happy hour?
He was great.
Did you talk to him?
For a second? Jason was talking to him because they're boys from Salisbury back in the day. And then he just,
of course, he was schmoozing.
He just introed me to him. I talked to him for literally 3 seconds.
Oh, he just said, "How you doing?"
I mean, that dude has a presence. When he walks in a room, you can tell that he's a big silly.
Who did you talk to? Was anybody else?
Who did I talk to?
Yeah,
from the team?
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to some of the PR people.
Okay.
I talked to other media people.
Was Adam Peters there?
The Rooster. I talked to John Keim for a bit.
Right. Peters apparently did show up.
Yeah, Peter showed up about halfway through. And he was hanging out over in a corner with Dan Quinn.
All right, just quickly, just looking at the schedule, how everybody's like cutting the cord. That's kind of the thing now.
Yeah.
If you want to watch football, if you're a Commanders fan, you're not in a bad spot. I think all but one of the games will be on the networks, the over-the-air networks.
What's the outlier game?
Well, there's an Amazon Prime game, Week 11, the Eagles, Thursday night game.
I mean, of course I've got that. Everybody's got that.
Well, so you might, if you don't have it now, you might have to get it for that week.
Got it.
Or stay at a buddy's.
I got the Peacock.
But everything else is like on Fox, CBS.
They don't have
even
Netflix?
ESPN game is ABC. No Netflix games.
Okay.
No Netflix games. Now, if you're out of market and you want to watch, here are some ways you can watch. So NFL Sunday Ticket is now available on YouTube. So you can do that. Obviously, Amazon Prime is going to be for that one game. You'll need to get that or stay at a buddy's house that has that. NFL Plus has access to all the Commanders' preseason games. That's an issue. Trust me. I know oftentimes I'm in Ocean City this weekend for the first, and I struggled to find the game.
Okay.
But you could stream it via NFL Plus.
You know what's funny is we got a call yesterday from someone, I guess, who works or owns Kirby's Pub. They said, can you tell Eric we will have every preseason game?
There you go.
Said Ravens and Commanders.
You're kidding me, right?
No.
This is the one weekend I don't think I'm going to go. I always go this weekend to see my kid play and everything. It's fun, nostalgia, whatever. But it's just like a big lacrosse.
He made a point to seek out EB to make sure he knows.
Well, they never make a big to-do when I'm there. Nobody ever engages me. Makes me feel like I'm a big silly.
Don't roll out the red carpet.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, stop infringing on my King of Ocean City title.
Why you mess with his turf? That's his territory.
Well, it's a great spot, but sometimes the game's not on, and it's difficult. But they're going to have it this time.
That's what the guy explicitly told us.
Man, wow. Why don't they treat me like a big silly when I walk in?
We'll have a crab dip waiting for you.
Because you don't have big silly energy.
I guess not. Why? I say, I just want to be low key.
Right. But if somebody gives you a hook or a horns, you're all about it.
Someone's into the show.
Right.
I like that.
Sure.
So, NFL Plus for preseason games. Paramount Plus will stream all of Washington games that are going to be on CBS. And then, of course...
Not sure if I have Paramount Plus or not. That could be a life leak.
Another option, I only use it for about a month, Fubo TV.
That's one I don't have. I have no familiarity with Fubo TV.
I had it. It was kind of garbage. But if you can watch the game through it, then that's certainly going to be an option for you.
Very good.
So there you go. Hit the skids. I think later we're going to get more into Jaden and specifically some of Zach Ertz's comments. As Valdez and I were saying, and I think Valdez just sort of has this he gets annoyed by things pretty easily, and he's been annoyed by all of the stroking, the glazing of Jaden. But I think it's gotten to the point now where he's actually thinking maybe it's true.
Might have to buy in.
You might have to start buying in when literally it's universal about how good this guy's doing so far.
We'll tackle that coming up at 8 o'clock and whether we should raise the expectations on the Commanders. I've seen more and more people picking them as a playoff team. So we'll get into that coming up at 8 o'clock. But next we'll go around the NFL with the Junkies Blitz, including some big injury news, especially if you're drafting a fantasy football team in the coming weeks.